Hey there folks, it's Eric from Belgrade Beat, riding my bike today through the city, and I just wanted to analyze a situation about bike riding in the city. And you will see that bike riding is getting more common these days, because it's pretty much the only way you can get around town now without encountering massive congestion. So what's the best way? How do you ride a bike in the city of Belgrade? Well, I would actually emphasize that you have to do this with great care. Why? Well, nobody seems to give a shit about bicycles. Or they're not aware of the fact that they exist until they see one. So the moment when they see you is often one of great surprise. So basically, right now I'm riding on the sidewalk, and the question in this video is basically, should you ride on the sidewalk or should you ride on the road? And I don't really have an answer to this because both of them are incredibly dangerous. Start with the sidewalk. It seems like probably a good choice for beginners because, well, if you're going slowly, you just have to make sure not to hit into any people or dogs or children, or, you know, children are people too, but yeah, you know what I mean. If you have a bell, usually when you ring your bell here, people are very accommodating for the fact that you're trying to pass them on the sidewalk on a bicycle. They go, "Oh, izvini," or something like that, you know, get out of the way very willingly and apologetically when they become aware of your existence. So you really should have a bell to let them know about your existence, and you really should, you know, respect the fact that they don't know you're there. With that being said, people here are always like walking down the street with their smartphones, as I call them smirtphones, because in Serbian smirt means death. For example, yeah, they'll even cross the street with their smartphones, and yeah, they don't know you're there, so you gotta let them know with the bell. Once you do, they're usually quite accommodating to move out of the way so you can continue passing them on your bicycle. And basically, yeah, they do all sorts of things like stand in the middle of the road, wobbling back and forth, walking sideways, backwards, throwing their arms up in massive gestures of Southern European self-expression, and all of these sorts of things. And basically, yeah, it's your duty to let them know that you're there. And it's very dangerous for both you and the pedestrians, especially. Watch out for children, because they are the ones who have the least idea about what a bicycle is and how to get the hell out of the way of it. Now, with that being said, if you want to move faster, you're gonna have to hit the roads. And when you're driving on the roads, you're gonna be face to face and contending with drivers who, well, let's face it, the drivers in the city are quite obnoxious and will have no reservation about honking at you if you cause them the least bit of inconvenience, confusion, or slowdown. They'll just hammer that horn. It's very fucking annoying. They'll just go just as soon as they find your bicycle riding the least bit inconvenient for their car driving. And, well, basically, what can I say about that? We should educate drivers that bicycles are sharing the road too, and in most countries, actually, the road is where the bicycles default. But in this country, they seem to think that a bicycle is something, I don't know, I think this is all because of the pedestrians giving way and the cars thinking that the bikes have to give way to them. Is all some sort of tribal psychology where bigger is better and the bigger vehicle should have more precedence over the smaller vehicle. But yeah, the drivers here, man, it's almost more safe to drive the wrong way on a one-way street than it is to drive the right way on a one-way street. Why? Because you can see what's coming. Well, if you're going the right way on a one-way street, like I am right now, you'll see cars will just come up behind you and sort of rush you, and if you don't get out of the way, honk. And it's very annoying, very obnoxious, and yeah. And yeah, so driving on the sidewalk, driving on the road, it's both very dangerous, both very not fun. But I would say if you're going slow, go on the sidewalks. If you're going fast, then just go on the roads, and make sure that you don't take anything for granted with the drivers. Don't assume that they see you, because they probably don't. And one last note about bike lanes. They've been putting lots of new bike lanes in the city lately. Well, guess what? Pedestrians treat them like they're sidewalks. They'll just walk all over them, and they will basically stand waving their arms on a fucking bike lane because they don't know what a bike lane is or what it's for. And yeah, so that's it, folks. Be safe on the roads. I hope you have a good time. I mean, but when you see people on the bike lanes, just ring your bell and just remind them that it's a bicycle lane. So people can get used to the fact that there are bicycle lanes, and they are actually for bicycles that are driving, not for children playing, not for old people waving their arms, not for people like talking on their mobile phones while walking in circles, but they're for bicycles riding. So that's my assessment of the whole thing. Hope you enjoyed this. If you got any questions or comments, what's your experience riding a bike in Belgrade? Write it in the comments below. Thanks a lot. Catch you later.